pretty damn straight. Unlike some people I know. Hello YouTube, how are you guys today? How are you guys going in all this quarantine madness? I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a little bit weird lately. Like it's just a weird time. I have so much time on my hands, but I haven't been feeling as motivated as I usually am. I don't know, I want to know how you guys are though, so let me know down in the comments, and yeah, I hope you're all doing alright and staying healthy. Today, I just wanted to kind of hang out with you guys. I've been meaning to edit some photos from my trip to America, Mexico, and Canada. It was about 6 months ago. I took heaps of film photos and I haven't edited them yet. Now, I thought it might be a good time, seeing though I've got absolutely nothing to do, that we can just edit them together and I can kind of just tell you about how the trip was, and I can kind of walk you through a little bit about how I edit. So without further ado, let's jump into, it's not even on. Let's go make a coffee first. Yeah, I just thought it'd be cool to just hang out. I've been meaning to do this for a while, and you know what? Whilst I'm being completely quarantined, why don't we just look back on the days where things were more exciting and a lot better. The first photo, this was outside our room. I'm not going to be putting too much effort into, making them look nice. Like as you can see, that's the original, that's afterwards. Just looks a bit warmer. The colors are a bit more vibrant. And that's all I'm kind of really going for. I might be doing a little bit of cropping as well, just to kind of really get that kind of rule of thirds stuff going on, which we love. This was in Mexico. I saw this kind of bush, really cool actually, really nice leading lines, and I got my little brother Alexi to do a handstand at the end, and then the backdrop is the beach. So I've already edited some of these actually, which actually works out really nicely. As you can see, before the highlights were a bit blown out at the back. So I've just brought them forward, and I'll probably just make it a little bit more saturated, because who doesn't love saturation? A bit more of a candid shot that's not really candid, it's quite staged actually. Don't mind this edit, as you can see, before, after. I might crop it out a bit, there's probably a bit too much leaves going on up there. Wow, that's a bit scary. There was a lot of artwork, so we went to this one hotel, which was apparently Pablo Escobar's mansion back in the day, or one of, but there was quite a lot of artwork, as you can see. I didn't actually realize that this was Kors at the time. I kind of like the black and white vibe, but I also kind of like the color. I don't know. Let's export both, and maybe we can just post both and see what you guys like on Instagram. The actual architecture was really cool in itself. Like as you can see here, there's chairs that were just kind of draping down. Okay, I can see what I've done here. I kind of like it. I just brought out the shadows a little bit of leading lines, a lot of greenery, lovely stuff. Here we go. So in the tree, there was a really cool chandelier. I've just made it a little bit colder. I decided to focus on just one of the things, and it worked out really nicely. It creates a really cool focal point, although it's quite busy. Here we are, here's me. I went to the roof. I got told off by climbing onto this roof, but there was a mirror up there, just a really old, dirty mirror. I thought, you know what? I've been taking photos of everyone this trip. Why not take a photo of myself? So it's exactly what went down. Just straighten that up a bit. Might even just distort it slightly. It's pretty damn straight. Unlike some people I know. Hayden. I like this photo actually. It's very minimal. As you can see, I've already cropped it, and perfectly in the center is just a person walking on the beach. Everything's kind of lined up nicely as well, the horizon lines and the actual waves and the beach. It's really, really cool. La familia, la coconut. That's kind of cool. I like how you're kind of looking from up the trunk of the tree, and then it kind of leads your eyes to the coconuts that are in the middle. This is a good one. Got Dad to pose the same way as the statue. Classic gags. Got some kind of exotic fruits in the background. I think that's dragon fruit. Here we are, I remember this little guy. So we went kayaking on one of the days to this blue lagoon. This is a little baby bird. He was just chilling there, waiting to be fed by his mother. As you can see, I've already edited it. Here we go, another bird. I took this whilst I was kayaking. We made sure to be very quiet. Yeah, I captured this just before he flew off. I really like this shot, actually. I've already edited it, so I've brought down the highlights, as you can see. And I might just bring up the shadows. I like that. That's the issue with film photography, because there's no actual data being saved, because it's literally just film and a bunch of metal, screws, cogs that's taking your photo. You can't really edit them as well as you would as a digital camera. These are the mangroves, kind of like the sun flare in the background. Other than that, there's not too much going on. I might actually just crop out a little bit of the black down here. Nice shoe. Doggos, who doesn't love doggos? I took a few of these photos actually, as you'll see as we continue, but this was my view looking out of the airplane window as we were leaving Mexico. And I've already edited this one. I've really just brought the shadows down and the highlights so you can see the clouds up the top, and I've increased the saturation a bit just so it looks a bit greener, but maintained the contrast between what you're actually seeing outside the window and the plane on the inside. So this is the sign that we read as we were kayaking down the river. Be careful, crocodile area. I mean, I just looked at each other like, she. This is a really cool photo actually. I like how I kind of took it just in front of a stick, so it's out of focus. Really gives a nice depth of field, and then you can just see how crystal clear the water was. It was so blue. It was so nice. Here we go. I like this photo because this was kind of like an overhang of trees that were connecting, and we kayaked through the middle of it, which was sick. But I really like the reflection that's going on, that triangular reflection on the water. And I kind of saw that with my eye and I was like, I've got to get a photo straight down the middle. And we've arrived in LA. I like this photo of Alexia actually. There was this pretty cool mosaic in this one particular store that we went on the pier. Yeah, as you can see, it's just a really colorful photo and I really like that. Some more plane shots. It's just so cool looking out of a plane. Always made sure to get the window seat. Here's my uncle. So we caught up with family. So now this is in Canada, Toronto. He didn't even realize I was taking it, so it's quite candid. It's just him cooking up some big steaks. This guy was doing caricatures. I'm glad you can't see my face. Look at my dad. Yeah. Look at him. What the fuck? You reckon? So this is the skyline. Decided to take a note out of Liam's book and up the blues. I really like it actually. It's very linear. Very cool. And this is New York. Bada, bada bing, bada boom. New York was cool. This is the view that we had from our hotel. As you can see, there's some big ass buildings being built. Just couldn't believe the sheer scale of New York. It's unbelievable. Empire State Building, had to get some American flags in there as well because we are patriots. Yeah, this is cool as well. The Brooklyn Bridge. Everyone gets this shot though. Everybody gets this shot. I had to get it, but everyone gets it. The people that were walking there were fucking pissing me off as well. I was actually aiming with this photo to get a silhouette kind of vibe. Maybe looking back on it, I should have got a lower angle. So all you have is the bike rider in the background, maybe a bit of the water as well. So I got lost from the family and I saw this one guy walking his dog and I was like, hey, can I take a photo of your dog? And he's like, sure. And so I did. This guy's called Wylan. I sat down next to him when I was going for a walk in Brooklyn on my own. He just pulled out this weed and this tobacco paper and then just started rolling his own blunt, which was pretty cool. And we were just having a chat. Obviously two completely different worlds collide here, but we were having a great talk about what was going on and who we are. And I enjoy talking to just random people like that sometimes. And so I asked him if I could take his photo. I really thought that he did kind of embody Brooklyn in a way, maybe. I've kind of just upped the clarity a bit. As for everything else, the lighting was perfect. Really like that photo. I like the contrast going on in this photo actually. I think the sun was just setting. I'm going to crop that a little bit just to make this building. I'm going to up the shadows so you can see what's going on. Super busy at the bottom. It was super busy. Probably bring the highlights. Well, there's not much going on in the background anyway, so I'll bring the highlights all the way down. Probably up the whites just to kind of keep some of that brightness in the image. Now, if I just bump the saturation, we Gucci. So we went to this art place called the Guggenheim. This one here was really cool. I like the contrast of the black and white. I'm gonna bring the blacks down, crop it in a little bit. Kind of gives you an insight into what we were just doing, looking at art. But I like this photo because Emily's in focus here. Looks a little bit overexposed. I'll probably bring that down, up the shadows, bring the blacks back a bit. The Guggenheim. I started calling it the Guggenheim and it got stuck in my head. If you know, you know, the Guggenheim. I really like this photo because it's very abstract. You've got the roundness of the building at the top, and then you've got that linear kind of straight-edged architecture at the bottom, and then it reads in a really nice font actually, sans serif. Definitely appreciate that. Rusty. And then we're going to bring the blacks down more because I really like what's going on with that white and black nature. And there's not much color, so vibrancy won't matter. Like you could almost just bring it black down, and there you go, black and white. Perfect. I really like that photo. So this is at the library. I got Alexi to pick up a book and model for me. Very nice. Put the shadows up. Similar thing. Temperature down. It's already looking way better. Highlights will go down because you can see these books up in the background now. Actually, they're like that before, after. Probably crop that there because you can't really see where the library ends. That's a cool photo. It started raining and we just got back to our hotel, and I remember I was like, I had to go and check out Times Square when it was raining. It just had to happen because there was going to be some really cool reflections going on. I saw this photo of the officer. I had to take this quickly now. Unfortunately, it was a bit out of focus. That's right. We'll see what we can do with it here. I'll bring the shadows up. I don't mind if you see a little bit of that grain. Highlights can come down. Exposure can come up. Wow, that adds so much more of an effect. And probably just a tad little more vibrant. But overall, yeah, it's got this kind of retro vibe, isn't it? Yeah, I like that. It's cool. This shot's cool. I like this shot because there's just so much bokeh in the background. Now, like, you never know what the photos are going to look like. And I remember taking this shot and I was like, this shot's going to be cool as. So it's already edited. I've just brought up the highlights a little bit. I'll probably bring the vibrancy up a touch, bring the saturation down, and now we get this kind of like lukewarm vibe. I'll bring the temperature down a little bit as well. This is my first ever, and to this date is still my first ever attempt at long exposure on film. Got the tripod out, really wanted to capture some cars coming past. I had no idea how long I was meant to expose the photo for. Now my camera has what's called bulb mode, and you can hold it down. So I held it down for I think 4 to 5 seconds. I made sure that the aperture was at its highest so that it was letting the least amount of light in, and I just went for it, and this was the outcome. I've already edited it. That was the before, and I really like the kind of reds going on, although now that I look at it again, I'm kind of feeling that orange vibe. I might change the color back to orange, and then we'll bring this down. Yeah, that's nice. It's just a little bit overexposed over there where that puddle is, where on the road, but overall I think I've brought it back quite well. Yeah, the contrast really makes it pop. Look at that. That's awesome. I really, really like that photo. I really liked to take these candid shots when I was in the street because it really just gives a nice depiction of what was going on in New York. This guy was playing his bass guitar. This is unedited, so what we're gonna do is straight away, I'm gonna bump the contrast because I really like what it does to this film photo. Just makes it kind of pop. I'm gonna bring the shadows down a bit, add a little bit of clarity, not too much. And as you can see on his jeans over here, it just seems a bit overexposed. So if I bring the whites down, yeah, you can really bring that back. I'll bump the vibrancy, but decrease the temperature just a tad. And there we go. Before, after, before, after. So this was the top from the Empire State Building, and because it was so high, at the time, these clouds were just coming around us, and I captured this really cool photo looking down on the rest of the buildings, but there was a little bit of fog up in the top right hand corner. I reckon, there we go, I've just chucked a little preset on it. I'm gonna make this a little bluer, there you go, it looks really nice like that. And then I'll probably play around with the highlights, probably bring the highlights down, just so that that cloud doesn't stay overexposed. And I'll probably bring the blacks down. That's a pretty cool photo. I like that, super urban. Here we go, so I was really trying to capture architecture on this specific day. Saw a Porsche, I just liked the reflections that was going on the bonnet and on the window, and so I tried to capture it just half on. We'll just up the clarity on this. I love clarity. I don't know, do you guys like clarity? Let me know. Let me know if you guys like clarity, because I like clarity. It's cool. We use that. Shadows can come down, because we don't want to see what's too much going on at the bottom. I really like how there's white, but we'll bring the highlights down as well. Yeah, and look at that. Yeah, I like that. I like that photo. I like that photo. I really like the colors that are going on in this one. Like this is completely unedited. I'll just increase the vibrancy. I'll probably leave the buildings in the background as a silhouette. I might even make them more silhouette-y, so I'll just drop the blacks and then decrease the highlight. There you go, so you can really see the sunset now. Before, after. Yeah, pretty happy with how that looks. Now this is a bit confusing, isn't it? I flipped this one upside down. The reflection of the city is actually below it. I might go for a bit of a different edit on this one because it's already pretty blue. I might even just keep going with that. Blue's down. We'll go clarity up, but there's so much. Yeah, we'll increase the shadows, so there you go. Oh, that's cool. And then we'll just increase the saturation of the yellows. There you go. That's an awesome photo. I like that. That's fucking with my eyes though. So I saw this homeless man sitting in the streets of Toronto. I wanted to capture it because like it really kind of just gives a good sense of emotion. I asked him if I could take a photo of him. I gave him some money as well. And yeah, he said yes. The colors are actually pretty nice as well. Very pastel. Bring the highlights down. Maybe even make this black and white. Might even put a graduated filter on this as well. Why not? I don't really use this a lot when I edit film photos. Just for this circumstance, I kind of want to draw attention towards the actual man himself. There you go. So it's just a bit darker, especially if I'm going with this black and white. And we'll put one on his face as well, and we'll bring out the highlights in this just to kind of draw attention to his face. There you go. Before, after. I really like that. That is a shit photo. And that seems to be it. Wow, we went through every single photo and edited them. I don't know how I'm gonna put this video together. It's gonna be fucking long. Overall, it was a super cool trip. I really enjoyed going to every single place that we did go to. I reckon Toronto was probably my favorite just due to it being so similar to Melbourne, but also so different at the same time. Capturing every single little thing about each place was really cool. I was always keeping my eye out for something that I could take a photo of, and I really loved the fact that I took it in film. I ended up using 5 rolls of film. There weren't that many photos that actually turned out poorly. In some cases, I wish I could have upped the shutter speed or got the focus right, but that's just the beauty of film. I really thank you guys for hanging out with me. It's been really fun looking back on this. It's kind of taken my mind off the fact that I'm stuck at home, quarantined. I hope everybody that is watching this, you're having fun and finding ways to entertain yourselves and no one's actually sick or knows anybody that's sick. I hope you're all trying to stay as hygienic as possible. And yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me just as much as I have with you guys. So once again, thank you for watching my video. I need to get straight into editing this, and I will catch you guys in the next one.